Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna bring you some more Legends attacks today. I think I said in the last video that live recordings was gonna be back, and that was a lie. I never actually fixed my sleep schedule, so I was super tired last night, so I just like spammed all my hits to get them done. And mind you, the hits that you're gonna be seeing in a second are done on like no sleep, and I also did not practice or warm up. But if you're wondering, the reason why I'm so low in trophies is because it's actually the next day. I am not recording it because I went to bed as soon as I got the hits done. So you're going to be seeing the attacks from yesterday. I haven't even done my attacks today. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into the first. Now I want to make it clear, I reset at like 4K global. So like I was very surprised to see a base like this, just because this base is like, dude, I think this base might be like, it might be like 8 seasons old. Maybe not that many seasons, but it's a super old base. Like, I remember attacking this base and having a hard time with it in 20% modifiers back when that was a thing. But yeah, so obviously I don't think I need to do very much explaining on this attack, just because, like, dude, fireball something in the middle. Start your Sui on one side, warden up the other side, then just log launcher to the core, and you should be fine. And to be honest with you, this attack, it's actually weirdly close. Like, it's closer than you would think. Like, you would think I'd be able to, like, swag my Duke and stuff on this base, but I actually didn't. It wasn't as crushed as you would think for getting all the fireball value that I got, which was a little embarrassing. A little bit. Kinda not. Because, like, well, we get the job done. At the end of the day, that's what matters. It doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you get it done. I apologize if you can hear my cat in the background. He's being annoying, so I apologize for that. Should be going away now, but yeah, just log launcher to the town hall, and you're good. And if you guys want to skip over this attack and skip to the next one, I do not blame you. All the red air mines, by the way. But we get better bases today, trust me. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of speed through this because this is kind of simple. Send the Dragon Duke in. There's like nothing over here to kill the Dragon Duke, and you see all the skeletons from the CC like came out from the witches. Then we pop the Dragon Duke, because then it'll kill all the skeletons, which is, like, really nice, so I recommend doing that. Like, if your Dragon Duke is getting, like, hung up on skeletons and stuff, you can just pop the ability to kill them all, so you can get them through. Let's jump to the next one. This base, this is a better style. It's a little under-leveled. Well, I guess, like, the walls are, and maybe this Wiz, but everything else is, like, supercharged and kind of maxed. His Lava Launcher is obviously not max, but it's definitely not level 1, so on this base, you could fireball this other rage, but I think this rage gets you more value, and it also just, I think, creates better pathing, because if you fireball, like, this rage tower, for example, it's like, I feel like you just don't have good pathing for your Sui, but, like, if we fireball this entire rage section and kind of funnel out this side of the base, like, right here, we can just log up this side with the Sui and get into that town hall section, and we shouldn't have too much trouble getting through the other rage with our Sui, because the only thing we're going to have on our Sui at one time is a Super Wiz and this other Fire Spitter, because we're going behind the other one, so I think it's better to just fireball this rage. And I say that, I know it's kind of like common sense for some of you, but there's some people, like, I've tried to help a guy in my clan, and boy howdy, sometimes he struggles with trying to figure out what to fireball. And, so it's like, it may be common sense for you, but for other people, they kind of need the, like, confirmation, I guess you could say, of, knowing where to fireball. So I thought I would, I got hella lucky that the furnace is locked onto those headhunters. I didn't even see that. I was trying to start my Sui and get that through, and I didn't even see those headhunters. I could have completely messed up this attack and caused me to fail, so got blessed. But either way, yeah, so if sometimes I'm explaining stuff and it seems a little common sense, for some people it's not, And some people struggle, and I accidentally clicked that Duke ability, trying to press the Queen ability, by the way, so that's a swag Duke ability. Literally, like, swag the Duke ability. But, you know, the base is, when you get as much fireball value as we did down here on that core, I don't think it's possible to fail. I'm gonna be completely honest. As long as you keep your Warden alive. You know, I was watching Gavin Clash of Clans, and he said, he was talking about Super Hogs, and he was like, as soon as you let your RC die on Super Hogs, using that army, you fail, and it's the same way for any Warden charge attack. Like, if you're doing a Warden walk, as soon as your Warden dies, you fail. Pretty much. Most of the time. 90% of the time. But let's go ahead and jump to the next one. Okay, this is a better base, by the way. And, I wanna make something clear. I was really tired last night when I was doing these attacks, and I did not even see all of this Flame Flinger value. You could snipe this X-Bow and this Mortar very easily, and you could literally Flame Flinger out this whole side, but I did not do that. So if you see this base, definitely take advantage of that Flame Flinger value. I just did not see it, but that's okay, because not getting the Flame Flinger value or not seeing it and taking it, it just shows how strong and, like, broken this army is. And I cannot wait till Yetis get a new level, because this attack is already super strong. I've been averaging, like, since I switched to this attack on, like, day 6 of the season, I've been averaging, like, 290 with it. My overall average, if you include the days that I used Fireball Lalo, the first few days of the season, I'm averaging 281. But since I switched to this attack, been averaging 290, so. And then when Super Yeti, or when, not Super Yetis, well, I guess Super Yetis do get a new level. Regular Yetis will as well, so this attack will be even stronger. And, like I said, this attack just shows you don't need Flame Flinger value to 3-star, like, with this attack. Because this is it's not like Fireball Rocket Balloons. Fireball Rocket Balloons, it's like almost every single attack you, like, need a Flame Flinger, because most of your army consists of Rocket Balloons, and Rocket Balloons don't support your Sui like freaking Yetis and an Ice Golem does. So that's why, like, with Fireball Rocket Balloons, you kinda, like, need a Flame Flinger, and I put emphasis on the need, because you, like, really need one. But, like, with this attack, you don't even need one most of the time. Sometimes you do, but, like, I just used the Troop Launcher on this one, just to support the Sui even further. But, the only thing that I say, use the Flinger, because I try to funnel out this section with the Duke, so I can push my Sui into this Revenge Tower with the King ability, but the Duke doesn't do a great job at clearing this section fast enough for my Sui, so it doesn't set a great funnel. We still get into the core, but it's not as clean, you know what I mean? Like, if we used a Flinger on this base, we could have swagged, but we probably could have swagged the Duke, honestly, but I didn't see the Flinger value at the time, so we weren't able to swag, so that's kind of unfortunate. But either way, we get it done. It's absolutely crushed. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, this base is actually a kind of hard one. I want to, in case your brain thinks like mine, when I see this base, there's bases very similar to it, but when I see this base, the immediate reaction I have is I want to fireball this Rage Tower. I want to get this whole section out, right? But there's not very much damage right there, and if you take this section out with your Warden, how do you deal with the core? You know what I mean, the middle section. And also, you can invis this Archer Tower to send your Rocket Balloons in for this X-Bow, but it is extremely difficult. So, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like, if you want to do that, man, like, God bless your soul, because you are probably not getting your Rocket Balloons to that X-Bow unless you're, like, freaking Dark or Synthé. But on this base, I like to fireball this Rico Cannon, because this Rico Cannon clears the whole core, and you actually get this multi as well. And if you start your Warden where I did, you clear this section out as well, so then you can send your Warden into the mono, and then you can just send your Sui with a straight shot with a log launcher into the Town Hall. You'll see. I kind of explain it, and I feel like some people, it's important to explain, because some people don't see the vision, I guess, but I thought I would go ahead and explain it. I mean, you'll see it in the attack, obviously, but I feel like it's still good to explain, just because some bases you need to approach differently, and this one has a more core, like a more middle of a core, than like the last one, for example. So that's why we want to fireball this core. Because I've tried to fireball this Rage in friendly challenges, because like, a guy in my clan had this base. It just doesn't work. Because then you have no way to get the core out. So that's why we fireball what we do. We just finish letting this warden just finish solidifying the funnel, because one thing, if you try to wall break like into this compartment, sometimes the wall break will go into this one if you don't clear out that expo, because the wall break sees that the expo is in there, so it wants to wall break you into this compartment. But that's why we finish clearing it, just to make sure our wall breaker goes into the compartment that we wall broke into. But yeah, but you see how there's not much for the Sui. But one thing you do need to watch, you're sending your warden into a super whiz, a mono, and an enemy queen, so you really need to watch your warden. And with the Dragon Duke, you can just send him up top just to kind of just push your Sui kind of down towards this elixir storage. It doesn't really matter. You just get good value with the Duke. He'll clear like that entire backside, like all the way down. It's insane. So speed it up. But see, there's so much damage. You just need to make sure. And one thing that's good about fireballing that Rico is you get to save your poison for the enemy heroes for your warden. So yeah, I think that's really good. I like if my warden's going to die. By the way, warden's a moron. He followed that super Yeti and got him, literally just sacrificed himself. But either way, if your warden's on like going into a bunch of enemy heroes, let's say you're warden charging the town hall, I think it's best to use the poison on the enemy heroes if you have to. I would rather use my poison on heroes than the CC, because I feel like heroes are more dangerous. That's just my opinion. This base, very difficult base. I had 4 triples in a row going into this, and I know you could take out this mortar and take out this expo and like flame flinger this whole section. But the only reason I didn't do that on this attack was because when you flame flinger box style bases with an isolated town hall in the core, you run the risk of your chances of 1-starring like goes up astronomically. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've tried to get flingers on bases like this and have still 1-starred just because I didn't have a good path or any good way to get the town hall. I kind of just hope that the king ability opens up the walls and my queen goes in. So that's why on this base I was like, you know what, I have a great day going. I was like, it's not worth it to me to possibly 1-star and ruin my day. So I was like, let's just fireball the CC, like fireball the lava launcher, and just send my Sui in from 12 with the log launcher, just to make sure I get the town hall. And this actually just ends up being a time fail. So, just again goes to show that you don't need a flame flinger, but obviously it's best. Now, if I was not having such a good day and I needed a triple, I would probably go for the flame flinger value. But I have a good day going. You don't want to risk it, because that's another thing about Legends. It's like having a good day of Legends and getting a high rank isn't always necessarily about just tripling. Like, sometimes when you see a base that's just like very difficult, like this base for your attack, sometimes you just need to like take what you can get. Like, sometimes you need to not risk like 1-starring. And it's kind of like strategy, you know what I mean? It's a strategy game at the end of the day. So it's like sometimes it's best to like secure a 2-stars to make sure you have a good day rather than 1-starring. And by the way, my king beats on this wall like an absolute moron instead of just going into the core, which kind of made me time fail, I'm not going to lie. But either way, sometimes, and he goes to the outside, that's another thing. And I tried to funnel him and push him in with the Dragon Duke, but the king is just an absolute moron. So if he went inside on this base, it probably would have been a 3-star, but just my warden didn't finish clearing out that top section, so my warden just had some goofy pathing. But yeah, sometimes it's best to just take a high percent 90 instead of tripling, just to make sure you don't 1-star and ruin your day. But the Dragon Dude goes ham, and then the king still has his ability, so it's like, I pop his ability a little too early because I'm running so low on time. It's like I need to get through this base as fast as I can. But, you know, I think it ends up just being a time fail. We still have the Warden alive and the King. I feel like it's a time fail. Maybe not. Okay. This is actually an old base from last season. So, what we do is, usually the Bomb Hive would be here, and if the Bomb Hive was here, you would need to invest a Skelly spell to snipe this Expo to set up a Flinger. But, since the Bomb Hive is gone, thank God, honestly, I'd rather have the Bomb Hive than the Lava Launcher, I'm gonna be completely honest. Because the Lava Launcher is just a hard counter to the Warden Walk. But we snipe this Expo and we get a nasty Flinger. And the reason we still use a Invis to get our rocket balloons there is we just want to make sure they don't die and we waste them all and not even get the Expo. Because if we don't get this Flinger, we're screwed. So I like to invest in an Invis just to make sure we get that Expo down so we can secure a Flame Flinger. And you don't need like a super deep fireball in this base either. You just like, there's so much fireball value, you just go for like a nice 3 invis fireball, and that's all you'll ever need. But this attack is just absolutely, well, it's kind of broken, man. Like it's so strong. It's so strong, especially with the Duke. And then when Yetis get a new level, man, oh my god, I cannot wait. I thought that when the Lava Launcher was getting added to the game, I thought that Yetis were getting a new level, like, that day, but I guess not. I don't know when they're adding new levels to, like, Dragons and Yetis, but it's gonna be soon. I assume it's gonna be in April, this month, but, I really thought it was gonna be, like, as soon as the Lava Launcher was introduced. This guy had Super Miners in his CC. Super Miners are such an underrated CC, because one Super Miner bomb makes your Warden go to auto ability. 2 Super Miner bombs can, like, kill, like, all 15 throwers for thrower spammers, depending on the circumstances. But they can. Like, Super Miners are just, like, a goated CC. I should use them, but I don't. And then we just stun everything for our Queen, because that multi was kind of wrecking our clone Queens and our regular Queen. And, you know, at this point, we still have the Flame Flinger alive. The base, it's done, man. Like, it's wraps. GG's, pack it up. So, yeah. W attack. That plan works every single time. Okay, I was practicing on a base, not this base, but it was a base very, very similar to this. And I was practicing on it the other day, and I was kind of losing my mind, because I was like, this base is so freaking hard. I was like, what's the point? Like, I was like, I'm never going to see a base even similar to this in Legends. So what's the point in even practicing and trying to find a crack to it? But, being the stubborn bastard that I am, I did find a crack to it. And I'm very glad that I did, because I did find a base very similar to that when I was friendly challenging, and it's this one. It's not the same. The base that I was practicing on had poison towers, but it was very similar in the way the multis are set up, and the town hall section, and this isolated revenge. And that's what, like, makes the base, right? And a lot of people would try to, like, Warden charge through the town hall to try to fireball this lava launcher, but I found this just doesn't work, because, like, you can just Warden charge the Rage Tower, and you only have to spend one totem to freaking get your Warden through that Rage section. So you literally get your Warden through an entire Rage section with only having to use one housing space of spells. That is insane. So, like, I feel like for Warden charges, base is very poorly set up. So what we're going to do after this, we're just going to Ice Blind, we're just going to Fireball this Multi-Inferno, because Multi-Inferno gives us the Lava Launcher and the CC. So, I feel like that is very nice value. And then we're just going to go in through the Town Hall with a Skelly, Log, and all of our Yetis and Sui. And, yeah. And even if this Rage section, if it's killing your Warden faster than mine, try not to use your Rage spell. And the reason I say that is because you're sending your Warden into the Revenge Tower and the Monolith, and you're gonna need that Rage spell. That's one thing that's hard about Warden walks. You need to kind of look ahead on where you're sending your Warden, because, like, I planned and I saw that I was going to be sending him into this Revenge Tower, so it's like, okay, I need to save the Rage spell. So That's why, that is why I saved it, obviously. But yeah, so W, attack, base is crushed. The Warden, he does survive, by the way. We save that rage and this poison when we actually get this base. It's a very hard base, I won't lie, but we get it done. W. This freaking base. So I knew when I saw this base, you could invis this archer tower and try to take out this Expo, because if you do that, you can flame flinger literally this entire compartment. And I was sitting there and I was looking at this base and I was like, you know what? If I do that, there's gonna be a Tesla that pops up and pulls all my rocket balloons and I'm not gonna get that Expo. And guess what I did anyway? I tried to take the Expo out. And guess what? A Tesla popped up and got my flinger. Now there's no Tesla on this side, so you could invis these two buildings, snipe this Expo, and get this whole side. So I don't know why I didn't do that. I even was looking at that. I was like, it's more likely to be a Tesla over on this rage compartment rather than this one. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that way. But it's just facts, because like people's brain works, like they want to attack from over here better. That's just how people's brain works. But yeah, so if I see Tesla popped up, so like at that point I was like, you know what? I was like, we're cooked. I was like, let's just try to get a 90% 2-star, and that's exactly what I get. So we just fireball this. We actually fireball the scatter because I actually don't have enough invis to get it to the poison, or get it to the rage. Sorry, just because I wasted that invis in all my rocket balloons. So that's hella unfortunate. See, so I'm just like, well, just GG's, man. I was like, we're cooked. GG's. Lava, dude, is that a max level lava launcher? I feel like it is. That's ridiculous. Freaking dudes, nerds, absolute nerds, man, just gemming their lava launchers. Nerds, man, crazy. But then we just send with a Sui and just like, yeah, we just like salvage the 2-star. I would, like, if you saw this base, I would say, oh my god, wait, there actually is a Tesla right there. You know what, if you see this base, you're cooked. GG's, man, hang it up. You're not 3-starring it. No, you could 3-star, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of at a loss for a plan. Maybe if you flame flingered over this side, you wouldn't get a bunch of value, but you could snipe this mortar and get like a little bit of this, which I think would be better. But yeah, I'm not sure. If you have a plan for this base, let me know in the comments. But that was the end of my day yesterday, and we went plus 300, so we also swagged the defense, so very nice. You gotta capitalize on those days. When you swag defenses, man, you gotta capitalize on that. I'm getting absolutely destroyed today on defense, so I guess that's what I get. But either way, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.